What really happened on the night Rosé turned 29? Why was Bruno Mars right there beside her, smiling casually as if it was just another ordinary evening, when clearly it was anything but ordinary? And why did that simple birthday cake with the glowing 29 candles suddenly become one of the most talked about moments on social media? No one expected this. Fans thought Rosé would celebrate quietly, maybe a small dinner, maybe a heartfelt post, maybe a sweet message from her BLACKPINK members, but what unfolded instead was something that sent shockwaves through both K-pop and global pop communities. It started with a simple clip. A cozy room, warm lighting, a modest cake decorated with colorful sprinkles, the number 29 standing proudly on top, Rosé sitting calmly in front of it, her blonde hair softly framing her face. She looked peaceful, almost reflective. There was no grand stage, no flashing cameras, no massive crowd, just an intimate space that felt personal. And then there he was. Bruno Mars. Sitting right beside her. Relaxed, smiling, playful, leaning close as if they had been celebrating birthdays together for years. At first, fans couldn't believe it. Was it edited? Was it a collaboration teaser? Was this a behind-the-scenes clip from something bigger? But no, this looked real, raw, genuine. In the thumbnail image that quickly spread everywhere, Rosé is seen about to blow out the candles while Bruno, in a light-hearted moment, bites into a slice of pizza. It wasn't staged like a red carpet appearance. It wasn't polished like a music video. It felt natural, spontaneous, almost domestic. And that's exactly why it shook everyone. Because when two global superstars share something that feels this simple, this human, it hits differently. But that wasn't even the most unexpected part. On the left side of the viral image, Rosé appears emotional, covering her mouth as someone brings out the cake. A single candle glows softly in another shot. In a small circular insert, she's hugging someone tightly, almost tearfully. The contrast between the emotional moment and the playful birthday scene beside Bruno created an emotional roller coaster for fans. Was she surprised? Was this planned by him? Did Bruno organize something special behind the scenes? Speculation exploded instantly. Some fans noticed how comfortable they looked sitting next to each other. Others pointed out Bruno's expression, warm, protective, almost proud. Meanwhile, Rosé's calm but slightly overwhelmed demeanor made the moment feel even more meaningful. This wasn't a typical celebrity birthday post. There were no long captions, no dramatic speeches, no flashy decorations. Just real emotion. And that authenticity is exactly what made it powerful. Social media timelines flooded with reactions. Blinks were stunned. Bruno Mars fans were curious. Global audiences were confused but intrigued. What is their connection? How did this happen? Why did no one see it coming? Some believe this moment might hint at something bigger. A collaboration? A private friendship that has existed quietly for years? Or perhaps a deeper artistic bond that hasn't been revealed yet? The mystery makes it even more fascinating. Because Bruno Mars isn't someone who casually appears in birthday clips without meaning. He is selective, strategic, intentional. Every move he makes tends to carry purpose. And Rosé, she has always valued sincerity over spectacle. She has spoken many times about preferring intimate, heartfelt celebrations over extravagant parties. So when these two worlds collided in such an understated way, it felt intentional. Look closer at the details. The setting wasn't glamorous. It looked like a private room, maybe a studio space or a small gathering spot. There were framed pictures on the wall, warm-toned lights, a cozy atmosphere that felt almost nostalgic. Rosé held a slice of pizza while staring at her cake. Bruno leaned in, jokingly taking a bite. It wasn't performative, it was playful. But that's what made it feel so real. And fans noticed something else. The way Bruno positioned himself slightly closer to Rosé during the candle moment. The subtle body language, the relaxed comfort. There was no awkward distance, no overly formal posture, just two artists sharing a genuine moment. Was this planned as a surprise by Bruno himself? Some insiders suggest that Bruno might have been involved in organizing the intimate gathering. The emotional clip of Rosé covering her mouth as the cake appeared suggests she may not have expected it at all. Imagine that. A global superstar being genuinely surprised on her 29th birthday by another global superstar. It sounds unreal. But the emotional reaction tells a deeper story. Rosé has had an intense year: projects, performances, global travel, public pressure. Turning 29 marks a reflective stage in her life and career. It's no longer the early debut years, it's a moment of growth, of transition, of maturity. And having someone like Bruno Mars present in such a personal milestone moment, that speaks volumes. Because birthdays aren't about publicity. They're about who chooses to stand beside you when the cameras aren't required. And Bruno didn't need to be there. But he was. That's what makes fans question everything. Is this friendship new, or has it been quietly building behind the scenes? Have they been collaborating creatively in private? Is this birthday moment just the surface of something much larger? The internet has theories. Some believe they may have crossed paths through industry circles long before this clip. Others suspect a musical connection, perhaps writing sessions, shared producers, studio collaborations that have yet to be revealed. The energy between them didn't feel like strangers. It felt comfortable. And comfort doesn't happen overnight. Meanwhile, Rosé's emotional hug moment shown in the small circular insert suggests deeper feelings were involved that night. Whether it was gratitude, surprise, or something more personal, we don't know. But that ambiguity fuels curiosity. Fans replayed the clip frame by frame. They zoomed in on expressions, on hand placements, on eye contact, on the subtle smiles exchanged between the two. And every tiny detail only raised more questions. Why was this celebration so private yet allowed to be shared? Why show just enough to spark conversation, but not enough to explain anything? It's almost strategic. Bruno Mars is known for his masterful control of image and narrative. Rosé, too, understands the power of timing and subtlety. When something is shown without explanation, it creates intrigue. And intrigue creates attention. But here, what makes this moment different from typical celebrity crossovers? It didn't feel promotional. There was no obvious project being advertised, no announcement, no teaser. Just cake, pizza, candles, laughter. And that simplicity is what made it explode online. Because in a world of overly curated celebrity interactions, authenticity stands out. Fans are now asking the biggest question. Was this just a birthday or the beginning of something else? Some believe this could be the soft launch of a future collaboration. Imagine Rosé's emotional vocals blended with Bruno Mars' smooth retro sound. Imagine the stage presence, the chemistry, the musical synergy. It would dominate charts instantly. But for now, there is silence. No official statement, no detailed explanation. Just the image of Rosé at 29, candles glowing, Bruno beside her. And perhaps that silence is intentional. Because mystery keeps the story alive. Rosé turning 29 isn't just about age, it symbolizes entering a powerful new chapter. Late 20s in the music industry often represent artistic independence, creative reinvention, personal growth. And Bruno Mars, who has mastered longevity and global impact, sitting beside her during this milestone feels symbolic. Almost like a passing of wisdom. Or a shared understanding of what it means to survive and thrive in global stardom. What if this birthday was less about romance speculation and more about artistic alignment? What if the real surprise isn't the celebration, but what comes after it? Fans are divided. Some see friendship, some see chemistry, some see future collaboration potential. Others simply see two talented artists sharing a sweet moment. But no one sees it as random. Because nothing at this level is ever random. And that's why this birthday moment refuses to fade from headlines. The candle flames may have gone out. The cake may have been eaten. But the questions are still burning brighter than ever. What did Rosé wish for when she closed her eyes? Was Bruno part of that wish? Was this just a surprise dinner, or a signal of something bigger brewing behind the scenes? The world may not have answers yet. But one thing is certain. Rosé's 29th birthday will not be remembered as ordinary. It will be remembered as the night Bruno Mars showed up unexpectedly and left the entire internet in suspense. And maybe, just maybe, this is only the beginning. Because sometimes the quietest celebrations create the loudest impact. Stay tuned. And just when fans thought the moment would slowly fade into the endless scroll of the internet, something unexpected happened. The clip didn't disappear. It grew. More angles surfaced, shorter cuts, slower edits, zoomed-in expressions. Every tiny frame became evidence for thousands of theories. The way Rosé glanced sideways for a split second before smiling, the way Bruno leaned slightly closer as the candles flickered, the way the room went silent right before she made her wish. That silence became symbolic. Because in that brief pause right before she blew out the candles, there was something almost cinematic about it. No loud cheering, no chaotic noise, just a soft glow reflecting on her face, a deep breath, and Bruno watching quietly. It felt intentional. Fans began asking, was that look between them planned, or was it a genuine, unscripted exchange? The intimacy of the setting continued to puzzle everyone. This wasn't a massive industry party. There were no visible security layers, no elaborate decorations, no luxury venue branding. It felt private, almost secret. And yet it was shared. Why share something so personal? Some observers believe this was a subtle message, not loud, not dramatic, but symbolic, a way of saying there's more happening behind the scenes than you think. Rosé's 29th birthday marks a transition point. In the entertainment world, late 20s often mean reinvention. Artists begin to redefine themselves. They take more control. They collaborate differently. They choose projects more selectively. And Bruno Mars, he's known for collaborating only when the timing and chemistry feel right.